What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Ride and Dad channel video, or welcome if it's your first time. Either way, very glad to have you. We are going to be talking about my officially long-term review, officially, whatever it is, it's the long-term review of this Saddlemen Explorer seat. I'll explain all about my custom layout on it right after this intro.
Riding down a YouTube channel, it's the Riding Down a YouTube channel, it's the Riding Down a YouTube channel, it's the Riding Down a
All right, so I have put off this review far too long. A lot of you guys probably don't even know that I have this seat because for a while it was not on the bike in most of the videos. Every once in a while it makes kind of a sneak peek in there and somebody will ask me about it, or somebody just will ask out of the blue about seats or whatever. You guys know that I love my SDC Pro with the backrest, which is currently hanging up right there. I bought this seat probably about a year, right around a year ago, maybe even, probably about a year ago. With the intention of obviously having my wife ride a little bit more with me at the time. This is, like I said, the Explorer from Saddlemen. You guys know I love Saddlemen. I also bought the backrest with it. A little bit, I'll either post some videos or bring you guys closer so you can see more of the fine detail on it. But I went ahead and did full carbon fiber and I did the blue. I did order directly from Saddlemen. I called them up, placed this order and said, hey, I also want the driver backrest. And I have, actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Let me grab the back piece too. Now, I almost completely forgot I had this too, but I have an actual Sissy bar pad as well as the driver backrest. I forgot I had this because it hasn't been on the bike in a very long time. But I have ridden myself. Me and my wife took only one trip, unfortunately. We don't get the time with the kids and everything. So we took one trip on it. She said it was really comfortable. She said it was like she could have ridden on it she was on it for an hour and a half, 2 hours total, about one-ish, 1.25 without stopping. The day we went out, and she had zero problems with it at all. She said she really enjoyed it, and it was just very comfortable for her. She could have ridden on it, like I said, she said several more hours if she wanted to. This, for those of you who don't know, if you're going to ask me later on in the video, what will fit on all this and that or whatever, the Sissy bar pads from Saddlemen have a kind of universal platform in the back. It basically comes with a template that, when it ships in, it's a paper template, and depending on what Sissy bar you have, it'll tell you where to poke out, or you can just put it up for the template, or if you're making a custom application, you can just put the template up, and then you poke holes through the leather in the back, or not leather, whatever, at this time, or in this case, it's a vinyl. Whatever the material is, you poke holes in the back of it where the screws would line up, and then you can basically whatever screws line up. Like I said, there's several different combinations. To my knowledge, there are no known Sissy bars out there that this will not fit. Like I said, they're good for custom applications too because they have many different mounts. It doesn't have to be all line up. You could do one side here and one side there or whatever. So this is the Holdfast Sissy bar from Harley specifically, because as you can see, I have a tour pack on it, kind of a DIY tour pack in it. Yes, there will be a video on this sucker coming as well. I've had it on the bike a while now. I've just wanted to see if I was really happy with it or keep it, whatever. But back to the seat. So yes, I have the matching Sissy bar pad, Sissy bar pad, driver backrest, and the actual seat. I went with full carbon fiber with the blue stitching, and then obviously all lattice stitch except the back. I can't remember if they even offer the back on the Explorer to be lattice stitch or not, but lattice stitch all the way through, matching blue everywhere, obviously to complement the bike. And at the time, I didn't even know I wanted to do carbon fiber accents to the bike, like the fairing or the side covers or fenders. But this seat just worked out really good for that because obviously the carbon fiber and the blue will tie perfectly into what the rest of the bike has. Now, let's get into kind of what my feelings are on it. I've ridden total probably about 1,500 to 2,000 miles on this bike. That means a lot of long Florida days because the miles suck here waiting in traffic and stuff. I also took it for 2 out of my 3 days with my Tail of the Dragon trip last year. The backrest is 100% removable. You do not need to have it in all the time. It is 2-position adjustable, which means you can either have it at about this position or this position. Technically it goes down. and I'm not sure if Saddlemen recommends it or not because it's kind of rubbing on the vinyl for the bottom part of the seat. So technically it goes down a little bit. I've never run it like that just because, again, I don't want it rubbing up against and ruining the finish or the quality of right where that hole is. So I always run in this position. I never run it up any higher. If you roll this kind of, let me come to you guys so you can see this. If you roll this portion up right here, you guys will see where it is completely adjustable as well. This is easier said than done, I'll tell you that right now, especially in front of the camera. You can see where this pivots, see where the two kind of locking notches are. You have a tightening, a thumb bolt or thumb screw with a nut on the bolt, and then this pivots depending on how much you want that to go. This is about the closest that it will go. That's how my current configuration is, just because I really like being up, and it does flex a little bit. So if you're really leaning back and you have a decent amount of torque and horsepower on your bike and you're leaning back and pushing, it does flex a little bit, which is fine. You want that kind of sponginess there, but that's why I have it all the way forward. Plus, I'm pretty short, so there you have it. This seat is very, very comfortable. I'm sure a lot of you guys will want to know how it compares, in comparison to either the Saddlemen Step Up or the SDC Pro. Unfortunately, I don't have a Step Up anymore to compare it to, but I did a Step Up versus SDC Pro video, so you can kind of use that to judge based off this, because I will be directly comparing this now to the SDC Pro. In terms of seating position, it's almost exactly the same. Obviously, the adjustable backrests on both mean that you have a varying degree of different positions that you want to ride in. Without the backrest, this seat is 100% better. If I had to pick, one or the other for me, without a backrest at all, I would pick the Explorer every day. It's just got more of a giant wall there. You can sit with kind of your butt, instead of your butt like here and your back here, you can sit with your butt like here angled and really angle forward and aggressively onto the bars. It's just a lot of more of, kind of adjustability, comfortability when it comes to seating position on this without the backrest than the SDC Pro. Another thing I will say about the SDC Pro is after several long days of riding, for me at least, that backrest, depending on where it's at, if it's really low, it winds up interacting with my belt and it's kind of develops a pressure point there. If the backrest is a little bit higher, I don't have a belt issue at all, but then I have kind of a sore spot in my back where it's at, because that backrest is a very dense material. It's not as squishy as this, and it's a much smaller footprint than this big old thing also. So I will say, in terms of backrests, none of this should really surprise you that much. You just look at the seat, the differences are very, very, obvious. And then also, this is meant to be more of a touring seat. The SDC Pro it's a great seat, don't get me wrong. I love that seat. I'm not throwing it out or anything as of yet. I still love it. I still use it, but this is made to be for more touring setup, more long distances, more long days. That is made to be just kind of a do-it-all, just an awesome, awesome seat that helps you stay locked into the bike. So yeah, the backrest on that, compared to the two, this is definitely way more comfortable for, long daily trips kind of thing. The backrest also has this kind of little pouch back there, so you can put, I guess a phone or a wallet or something back there if you wanted to. It would be really hard, at least for me, I'm not flexible at all. It would be really hard to gain access to that while you're riding. But if you have a passenger, they can put stuff in there or anything like that. I will say also that at least for me and my wife, she was able to ride on this with the Sissy bar and the driver backrest with no issues. She had more than enough room. It didn't interact negatively with her legs or anything like that. And for reference, if you guys don't know, I am running the Bung King rear sliders on this bike as my passenger pegs. So I don't have, they're in the topmost position, which means her legs are more cramped than anything. She is a few inches shorter than me though, so take that what you will. I am a short individual, which means she's even shorter. But overall, like I said, really love the seat. I've run it several days with no backrest at all. So obviously a lot with the backrest. The backrest just makes it more comfortable. Do I look like a geriatric ward patient? Of course, you always will with the backrest like this. But you know what? Sometimes you reach a point in your life and you really just realize that everybody else's opinions doesn't matter that much. If you're comfortable, if you like your bike setup, run what you want, run what you got. Just enjoy life and enjoy the bike. The whole purpose of this seat is to be more comfortable and everything. Now, this is going to be a tough one, because I do want to say this too, because I understand not everyone has a decent amount of money to spend on parts like this. I've accumulated a lot of these parts I do reviews and stuff on over the course of years. You guys help me out by using sweet codes like the Tucker Speed discount code and everything. It helps me out a little bit. YouTube helps me out by you guys watching my stuff and everything. So that is part of how I am able to fund this kind of non-stop review and build series that I'm consistently doing with both these bikes and everything. So if I were you and I didn't have that much money and I wasn't doing reviews and stuff and I had to pick just one seat, period, honestly, it would depend on what kind of riding I was doing. So if I was somebody who only rode 30 to 45 minutes a day kind of thing, like if I rode my bike to work and back and that was pretty much it, STC Pro is a great seat. It's a minimalistic look. You still have the passenger portion if you want. The adjustable backrest is great for shorter rides and just really dialing in whether you want to be forward or back or whatever. It looks killer. It's a very comfortable seat. It helps you really stay planted in there with the gripper material on the back. It's just a good seat. Now, if you are somebody that, daily trips a full day, maybe a full Saturday or Sunday, every weekend or every month or even something like that, if you're taking some long trips, and again, you can only pick between the two seats all day long, I would recommend the Explorer. Without the backrest, let me just take it off again so you guys can kind of look at it. Without the backrest, it is not that bad of a seat, looks-wise, in my opinion. It really does help, obviously, if you get a color combo that matches the bike. This doesn't look as good, in my opinion, as the road sofa does on the touring bikes, which obviously is this kind of the closest comparison in styles of seats across the two bike platforms for Harley. But it does look good nonetheless. You get a gigantic passenger portion, which brings my brings me to my next point. If you are looking to travel with a passenger at all, STC Pro, Step Up, Corbin, any of those that are similar in profile to that, they suck for passengers. Some of them are better than others. That STC Pro is better than the Step Up as a passenger is concerned, but nothing is going to come close to having a wide partition like this. And just you can just look at it. It's almost double the thickness. It's a big seat. It's an actual seat. That's kind of like sitting on a hot dog bun versus this is like sitting on a hamburger bun. That's the best way I can put it into kind of terms without you guys physically seeing the size difference. But there you go, much better for passengers. Like I said, the backrest is great for drivers or riders. If you want to, if you have a lot of bad back problems or shoulder problems, like I got some really bad back problems, unfortunately, even though I'm not as old as I look. The backrest is just a lifesaver for that for the long days. Going back to what I said about as far as running it 2 out of the 3 days on my Tail of Dragon trip, I rode it actually. I think my picture's at my office, but my Tail of Dragon picture, if I can find it, I'll put it up now. One of the pictures you can actually see me using this with the backrest. So I have definitely used this in more aggressive riding styles and trips, and it has performed flawlessly. I mean, this back portion of this seat is huge. Is it right up and down? No. Is it a little farther back than the Step Up would be or something like that? Yes, a tad. So if you're shorter, it's not going to be great for that. But like I said, because of this not being a 90-degree angle, up and down with the ground, you can put your butt here and lean forward, and it performs perfectly for that style of riding. And then once you're done with it, you can kick back a little and use the backrest. The backrest does not have any locking pins in it to keep it from falling down like the STC Pro does, if you're familiar with that. But you don't need it for this one because the way that it locks in is at an angle back instead of forward, like the STC Pro, and it's barely back, just a hair. So basically, there's never any situation that you're going to worry about pushing it out unless you literally put your back up on it and try to jam it out, which is no normal situation any normal person should ever be in. So you should never have that issue. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I did order this specifically from Saddlemen. I called them up and placed the order. If you're going to do the same or get something like this, I would highly recommend doing that as well. Let them know that I sent you. They might hook you up, probably not. If you let them know that Blockhead sent you, I think they're gonna do the right thing for you, because that's kind of what I'm sure there's some other people too, but Blockhead I think is the most well known for getting hooked up with Saddlemen. So let them know that it'd be cool if they hooked you up if you mentioned me, but who knows? So either or, you know. But yeah, this is, I mean, it just looks awesome. The blue stitching pops, especially with the blue on the bike. Is this a complete match? No. It could be a little bit brighter for the Playboy blue that is powder coated on my bike. However, it's also looking a little bit darker than it actually is because of the carbon fiber black all surrounding it. It's a Saddlemen seat, quality, second to none. You guys know there's no issue with Saddlemen seats ever. It fits great. This one did not take as long to break in my opinion, as the SDC Pro or the Step Up. In my opinion, this was pretty well broken in within the first 300 to 400 miles. It really started to settle in about then, and it's pretty much stayed the same, which is very comfortable, no issues. The SDC Pro actually took longer than my Step Up for me. The SDC Pro took about 12 to 1500 miles, and the Step Up that I had in the past took about 800 to 900-ish, somewhere around there. It was just under 1,000 before I felt like it really started to get comfortable. So this is my review of the seat. Highly recommend it. It's a great seat. Hopefully I didn't miss out on anything. If I did, you'll see it in the description if I can think of it. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. Like this video, I really would appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the Riding Dad channel. It's the best, possibly the best ever on YouTube, but definitely the best currently on YouTube channel there is as far as motorcycle content. There's a playlist devoted to this bike. There's a playlist devoted to that bike. There is a playlist devoted to reviews such as this. Check all of it out in the description. Hit me up on Instagram, send me a message, we'll chat about something. And until the next time, guys, ride safe, have fun. Dad, out.